Hello, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to ADL Learning Exchange 2021. Hello, my name is Samantha Vilas, an intern at the Ateneo Salt Institute. With me today is Michael David John E. Abello, an EdTech coordinator at Sacred Heart School, Ateneo de Cebu, where he focuses on ICT or educational technology. Today, he will be talking about the importance of getting micro-credentials. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Michael.
uh, a glimpse or at least an idea an idea with regard to micro credentials and why it would matter. Okay, so before we start, I think I'd like to show you guys a short video from the World Economic Forum.
COVID-19 is one of the biggest crises of our time. It has impacted every single one of us, shaken our social systems, and disrupted every sector of our economies. The automation of work, combined with a global recession, led workers to lose their jobs at an accelerated pace compared to previous years. And this trend is expected to continue. The ongoing shift in the division of labor between humans, machines, and algorithms might displace 85 million jobs worldwide in the next 5 years, while 97 million new roles, ones that are more adapted to this new task distribution, may emerge. By 2025, companies expect to displace roughly 6% of their total workforce. 1 in 2 workers will need reskilling, and those remaining in their current roles will need to update 40% of their skill set to adapt to the changing labor market. There is a way to collectively benefit from these challenging times. Decades of research have shown that the most valuable asset of any economy or company is its human capital. Around the globe, companies are already experiencing a shortage in relevant skills for future roles and are investing in reskilling and upskilling their workforce. By 2025, organizations say they will train over 70% of their employees to ensure they can smoothly transition into the jobs of tomorrow. These include DevOps engineers, artificial intelligence specialists, digital marketing managers, talent acquisition specialists, and customer success specialists. It will take on average between 2 weeks and 5 months for workers to pick up new skills, allowing them to move into these new roles. But data shows they won't need to have the perfect skill set to start transitioning. While 2/3 of employers expect to get a return on investment in employees' reskilling programs within just 1 year, governments will also need to step in to update and fund education and training systems and to ensure displaced workers have adequate safety nets. With purposeful leadership and collaboration, we can turn this global crisis into a unique opportunity to transition into a future of jobs that is inclusive, fair, and sustainable.
So that was the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs 2020. Now, I'd like to talk to you guys about why micro credentials. So the thing there with micro credentials is that it will allow us to be more agile. As what was made mention in the video, that's really the problem. That's really the problem nowadays. That with regard to how we would be able to upskill, how we would be able to really cope up with the challenge, with the change that is happening right now. So one way that we can try to do this, not only for our employees, but also for our students, is to try to offer micro credentials. Now, basically, what are micro credentials? So they are not really something new. They are qualifications recognized as smaller packages of knowledge and skills which are meaningful in their own right. And aside from that one, it is based on accessible competencies. And the good thing there is that it is represented by digital badges containing metadata of the achieved competencies. Now, as what I made mention, it is not something new because we have also experienced that one through seminars or workshops. We've also done that one with regard to conferences and also symposiums. But the good thing there is that some micro credentials are backed up by big companies, like as what I was able to show you, they are some are backed up with Google and also with Microsoft. Now, here are some of the advantages of micro credentials. It benefits our the learner, in which it can validate the current knowledge and skills, include transferable skills, and aside from that one, it will enhance the access of the qualifications of our students. Learning can be placed in the workplace and or from a variety of sources. Aside from that one, it is quicker and cheaper to acquire skills, and it provides just-in-time learning to support career aspirations. So there's also the aspect of learning by doing. So with that one, it would really benefit the learners, but not only the learners, it would also benefit the employers or the whole community. But wait, there's more. There's also free online courses. So over here, Microsoft for Education offers a variety of courses that teachers can relate to. And just to share, we were also able to try to have that one for our school, that we were able to garner the MIE, or Microsoft Innovative Educators. So we asked uh, each and every one from the school community to take up the course. And then aside from Microsoft, there is also Coursera. Coursera is also another provider of certifications, and the good thing there is that it's also it can also be connected with big universities. Then we also have Google for Education. So there's really a lot of resources that you can try to also get from Google for Education, and it also helps us be more prepared when we are going to take up our certification. Or like for example, the certification of Google is Google Certified Educator. So you can try to in order for you to try to gear up for that one, you can try to take the free online courses. Now, let us reflect. Why should we try why should we care about micro credentials? We And then aside from that one, why do we have to try to do what we do? Why am I doing this? Why do we have to uh, gear up for certifications and stuff? Why do we have to acquire CPD points? And last but not the least, maybe we can also try to ask ourselves, am I a lifelong learner? Am I challenging myself to try to do more and to be more? So if it would be possible, please do share your thoughts in the chat box, so that we will also be able to hear from you. What are some of your thoughts with regard to that one? So really, the idea of micro credentials, it's really important, and I really wanted to also present this one to you guys, because um, I feel that this is one way that we can try to also improve. This is one way that we can also adapt to the change that is happening right now, especially with the onset of COVID-19. So let me just end my short sharing with this quote. There's an absolute need for organizations to innovate, grow, transform, and reinvent themselves faster than ever before, by Kaihan Krippendorf. Okay, so thank you very much for listening to my talk on micro credentials. Okay.
Thank you for that, Mr. Abello. The floor is now open for anyone who wants to ask questions. Okay, feel free to unmute yourselves or use the chat box down below. Um,
There's a question here. Apart from ADL, are there other digital badges or micro credentials care of the school? Which school are you talking about, Sir Genesis? in the Ateneo. ADMO, yes. So basically, it doesn't have to come from ADMO. You can try to, if you go to Microsoft education.microsoft.com, they can provide you micro credentials, and it can also be connected to your Microsoft account. So if, for example, the school has Office 365 account, or if you have a personal Office 365 account, then you can try to use that one, so that the micro credential will be linked to your account. I hope that I answered your inquiry. So you can try to earn digital badges there. Sige. Any other? Is there any other questions? I think we still have some time. I'll try to see if I can try to share with you um, an example with regard to the website, so that at least you'll be able to really see firsthand how it looks. Okay, so let me just pull up the website here in the okay. So take for example, you have there Microsoft Educator Center. Okay, I'm already linked in. Okay, I'm already there. Now the good thing there is that they have trainings. They have different courses that you can try to take, and then there are learning paths. So like for example, you can try to start from beginner, and then there's even lesson plans, in which they have lesson plans for Microsoft for Education, Farm Beats for students, and then Hacking STEM. And then, as what I made mention with regard to micro credentials, over here, when I click on my profile, I'll be able to access all these things. So you can try to have view details, and also even the certificate. So the certificate is also linked in with the with the thing. So that's the good thing. That's a good thing there, that you can earn micro credentials, um, and it's for free. So as long as you have an Office 365 account or a school account, I'm using my school account, SHS ADC Online. So with that one, we're able to earn our micro credentials. And later on, I'll try to see if I can try to forward to ADL a redeem code, because you can try to also type in a redeem code over here, so that you can try to also redeem some micro credentials, especially if you joined in with some special. Uh, I am also a Microsoft ambassador, so maybe I can also try to issue you one digital badge. uh, but I think ADL, yes, but I think ADL also offers digital badges and the like. Okay, sige. Thank you. Would there be any other questions or clarifications? Miss Sam?
There's still a question in the chat box po.
Uh,
From Sir Genesis. For educators, what are your most recommended courses in the Microsoft Educator site?
okay. That's a good question. There are really a lot of there's really a lot of courses that are very relevant right now, and also very interesting. Um, I do have a list. I'll try to see if I can try to share with you guys on the chat box what are these courses. Thank you for taking that one up. There's one that is Wakelet. Wakelet is good. And then wait for a moment. Where is my okay, over here. So I'm gonna share with you guys some of the courses. There's one of the things that we also that we also try to get is with regard to the Microsoft Teams. Okay, so usually we have that one transform learning through Teams, and then over here are some of the other Teams courses that I'm also recommending to our to some of our teachers, because we're using that one for we're using Teams as our LMS for the school. So those are just some. I'll try to share later on the others, the one with Wakelet, the Flipgrid is also good. And then some courses with Microsoft PowerPoint and also Excel. But again, I think everyone is familiar with the term tantum quantum, in as much as, so in as much as it will help you with the objectives, with your objectives, then you can try to use that one. So one of my objectives is with regard to Microsoft, what do you call this, Microsoft Teams. So that's why I also try to give to our teachers Microsoft Teams. As a bonus, I'll also throw in free Office 365 templates. So if you go to templates.office.com, you can also try to get different Office templates that you can try to use. Thank you. I'll place
Um,
in the site so that you can also proceed there. So you can try to see for yourself what are some of the things in Microsoft Education. Okay.
I do have a question po, another question po, Mr.
Yes.
Avelio.
Yes. Go.
So, with all of these micro credentials available online, I'm also assuming that there are some courses or projects that might require some offline activities. How exactly does that play into the certificate, or like how can we redeem these micro credentials with those specific output-based subjects, for example, lab, etc.? Or are there
You
any?
Yes, there is. Basically, like for example, if you go to Coursera, and even with ADL, if I'm not mistaken, I was able to attend ADL before, and they were asking us to try to submit some papers or um, some best practices. So those are some of the things that you would have to try to do, and that really also depends with regard to the LMS that that depends on the one that is giving out the micro credential. Sometimes they're asking you to try to submit, but most of the time, if for example if you take the Microsoft Office specialist or Microsoft Certified Educator (MCE), if for example you get the Google Certified Educator level 1 and level 2, basically it is done online and it is time bound. So that is one of the things that you'd have to try to also be careful with, because you don't have that much time. So you'd have to try to make sure that you'll be able to try to end on time, or you got most of the questions correct, because if not, then you might not be able to pass the certification. I hope I was able to answer your question.
Oh, yes, I think it did po. Thank you po, Mr. Abelio.
You're welcome. Sige, any other questions or clarifications?
If you have any other questions, please feel free to use the chat box or open your mic.
So again, thank you very much for having me for this particular session. I hope that I was able to shed some light with regard to the micro credentials and the like. Sige. Of course, there are also some others available aside from Microsoft. There's also um, Google for Education. So if you try to see, there's really also a lot of resources with regard to that one. If you go to Google for Education, it there's like teaching resources, and then aside from that one, there's also coding and the like. So I'll send also the meeting link for Google for Education, so you'll be able to also check it out. And then the third link is the Coursera.org. It's also a very good resource for micro credentials and the like. They also give out certificates, but you don't have to try to limit yourself there. There's really a lot of other resources that can be found in the web. Is everyone able to see the links that I am placing in? I hope that you'll be able to uh, you'll be able to use that, and you'll be able to make good use of it. You're welcome. I appreciate the time that you gave me to share, because that's really one of the things that I hope that we can also try to do for the future. That not only do we certify ourselves, because it says there, you cannot give what you do not have, diba? And that's one of the basics in teaching. But we can also, if we can also try to these things to our students, that would be great, because with that one, they would have the necessary skills, and hopefully the next generation will become better, even better than our generation. So uh, just something there. So it's also for the future.
If
Sige.
there are no more questions, I think we can actually end this session po. If
Okay.
you liked what you saw, please feel free to share your thoughts at gbseal. Wait, let me just share my screen to show you guys.
Yeah, it's sharing. It's still loading there.
Yes, po. If you like the session, feel free to share your thoughts at gbco.online/share. I'll also be sending it on the chat box. Thank you very much and hope you guys have a nice day.
Thank you.